Rstv, bring you the news as it is.
On the highlights this afternoon, Vice President Shettima reiterates Africa's capacity to thrive with lawful data sharing. Federal government begins overhaul of National Youth Service Corps scheme, Plan Teachers Medical Corps, and National Emergency Management Agency launches plan to curb mass fatalities, disappearances. Good afternoon and thank you for joining us on the news at 3 on Rstv. I am Ubelijit Yara. Do you love and care about Rev's state and peace? Let's build and take it to greater heights, for this is a task we must accomplish. A 4-day sensitization on fire and flood safety has begun in the state to sensitize traders in the market on how to prevent fire outbreak and flood management in the environment. Melvin Jackson reports that the sensitization, which kick-started with the Rumuwoji market, popularly known as My One Market in Port Harcourt's local government area, was organized by the State's Ministry of Special Duties in collaboration with the Rivers State Fire Service. This report.
Acting Permanent Secretary and Director of Administration, Rivers State Ministry of Special Duties, Dr. Fortune Akpila, stated that most fire outbreaks and floodings are man-made, even though there are natural occurrences, charged them to be proactive in maintaining a safe business environment, describing fire as a good servant but a bad master. Dr. Akpila said that the sensitization was to intimate traders of the dangers of storing combustible materials such as petroleum products, gas cylinders, and electrical appliances, which could cause fire outbreak within the business environment. The director noted that overload of electrical sockets also causes fire hazard and warned that sockets and switches be put off and candles placed on stands away from combustible materials, as well as not scooping fuel from falling tankers or from spill sites.
Very important, we come to tell the people so that they will know how to manage their homes, prevent fire from occurring. Most of the time when fire occurs and we go fight the fire, well, usually things that cause the fire, they're so small, maybe kitchen things like the burning head, that when we are cooking we should not leave our kitchen, we should stay in the kitchen and finish cooking first. So most times it's all those small things that we are supposed to prevent that cause fire. So that is why we come to educate them more so that they will hear it and keep to do the right thing. And we are believing God that we have come, we have talked to them, they've heard all the fire prevention tips, and I'm sure they will live with it so that fire will not occur again.
In an interview, Assistant Director and Commandant, Rumodomaya Fire Station, Golden Elenga, and Public Relations Officer of Umuwoji Market Traders Association, Shibuzo Obialo, thanked the ministry for the gesture, said that the sensitization exercise was a good initiative as it would help traders in fighting and control of fire outbreaks.
Well, it's very credible. From the look of things, we did very well. The people came out and everything was properly done. During the demonstration too, it was properly carried out and people also understood what we did and they gave us a listening ear also. So the thing was successful. The message we passed to them, they should take it seriously and put them into practice, avoid anything that will cause fire and carry out fire prevention and also practice flood prevention.
The government tried for this to educate traders how to fight a fire and how to prevent the flood. It's a very good welcome development for the market. We really thank them for the lecture they have given to us.
The sensitization exercise, which continues tomorrow, also featured practical display on firefighting techniques as well as distribution of flyers to traders. Melvin Jackson, Rstv News.
The Nigerian Army is committed to ensuring that its personnel preparing to retire from the service are equipped with diverse forms of training to enhance their welfare and well-being long after service. The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Lufemi Oluyede, stated this while declaring open this year's Veteran Affairs second quarter pre-retirement training and business development seminar organized by the 6th Division, Port Harcourt. Justice Ihonu has more.
The seminar is designed for personnel scheduled to retire in next few years, targeted towards fostering a positive mindset into a post-retirement life and expose them to potential business ventures. The seminar with the theme Leveraging Business Development Strategies for Effective Empowerment of Service Personnel and Veterans in Post-Retirement also seek to equip them with the necessary knowledge and skills that will enable them to transit smoothly into civilian life and expose them to entrepreneurial opportunities. Represented by the General Officer Commanding 6th Division, Major General Emmanuel Emeka, the Chief of Army Staff described the theme as apt, given the constant evolution of the political and economic environment of the country, particularly as it deals with diverse security threats and the impact of the well-being of citizens.
Which aims to consolidate the transformation of the Nigerian Army towards becoming a well-motivated and combat-ready force that can effectively discharge its constitutional responsibility within a joint and multi-agency environment.
He emphasized that security is not exclusive duty of security forces, as collaborative support and involvement of all citizens are crucial, pointing out that leveraging on the services of serving and retired personnel with deep understanding of the security architecture of the country would facilitate effective security management in their various communities and across the country.
I therefore urge you all to utilize this opportunity provided by this training and seminar to renew our commitment to the general security of our beloved country.
The Chief of Administration Army, Major General Lawrence Fejako, represented by Major General Uriah Opene, also spoke on the benefits of the seminar.
Training has continued to leverage the achievements and success of the previous seminars, as well as inputs in other Nigerian Army personnel and veterans in the pursuit of national development and security.
The General Officer Commanding 6th Division, Major General Emmanuel Emeka's speech was read by the 6th Division Garrison Commander, Brigadier General Sani Ahmed, while the sole administrator of Rivers State was represented by the acting head of service, Inge Brown.
The seminar is expected to consolidate on the gains of the first quarter edition while addressing gaps in the employment of Nigerian Army personnel and veterans in capacity building and skills acquisition as part of pre-retirement training and business development strategies.
Most of you have dedicated the best years of your life to the defense and development of the country. While the nation is grateful for your enduring service, it cannot provide all of your needs in retirement. This is why knowledge of business development strategies that the seminar aims to depict is important for all serving and retired military personnel.
Justice Ihonu Rstv News.
Vice President Kashim Shettima says African economies will thrive when the continent is able to lawfully share secured data. Vice President Shettima stated this in Abuja at the opening ceremony of the Network of African Data Protection Authorities with the theme Balancing Innovation in Africa, Data Protection and Privacy in Emerging Technologies, and the official launch of the Nigerian Virtual Privacy Academy. Represented by the Deputy Chief of Staff to the President, Senator Ibrahim Hadejia. The Vice President noted that the African economy will thrive when Africa can lawfully share secure data. On the importance of the conference, he stated that such were not only welcome but essential, adding that they offer the chance to cross-pollinate ideas, to nurture human capital, and to strengthen mechanisms for mutual legal assistance. Minister of Information and National Orientation Mohammed Idris has urged Nigerian media professionals and editors to play a strategic role in the fight against terrorism by deliberately denying terrorist groups the publicity they seek. Speaking during the 7th edition of the 2025 Ministerial Press Briefing, Ceros held at the National Press Center in Abuja, Idris noted that the media's editorial choices could significantly impact national security and the morale of armed forces. He warned editors against glamorizing terrorism through sensational coverage and called for a more patriotic and security-conscious approach to reporting. Highlighting security as the second pillar of the administration's agenda, the minister noted that Nigeria's armed forces have continued to gain ground against insurgents, aided by new weaponry, improved intelligence, and international cooperation. The federal government has set up a committee to carry out major changes to the National Youth Service Corps. Speaking at the event, the Minister of Youth Development, Ayodele Olawande, said the NYSC has played an important role in building national unity and helping young people since 1973. Olawande said the committee will look into how NYSC works and suggest ways to make it safer, more creative, and more impactful. The goal is to make the scheme stronger, more useful to national growth, and better suited to the needs of Nigerian youths. The decision followed rising concerns about the safety of corps members, poor facilities, and whether the NYSC still fits into today's social and economic realities. The inauguration of the committee happened in Abuja with key people from government, civil society, and private businesses in attendance. The committee will review current NYSC policies, talk to people across the country, and suggest changes to laws, policies, and how the scheme is run, as the final report will be submitted to the minister within a set time. Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Senator Abubakar Kyari, says Nigeria has so far lost more than 1.3 billion naira to outbreak of Tuta absoluta, commonly known as tomato leaf minor or tomato Ebola, in 3 states. Kyari, who made this known at the ongoing 4-day capacity building workshop for financial institutions organized by Horti Nigeria in collaboration with the Nigerian Incentive-Based Risk Sharing System for Agricultural Lending PLC, said the outbreak has consequently led to the surge of 50-kilogram basket of tomato from 5,000 naira to 10,000 naira and approximately 30,000 naira, thereby exacerbating food inflation and straining household budgets. According to him, the states where the loss were recorded include Kano, Katsina, and Kaduna. He explained that tomato Ebola had underscored the fragility of the country's horticultural systems, adding that the invasive pest could decimate tomato crops within 48 hours, leading to catastrophic yield losses. According to him, the crisis highlights the urgent need for integrated pest management strategies, investment in resilient crop varieties, and enhanced support for farmers to safeguard the country's food supply chains. The Federal Capital Territory Administration, FCTA, has assured that efforts are underway to resolve the issue of unpaid salaries owed to resident doctors before the expiration of their 3-day warning strike. This comes as members of the Association of Resident Doctors in the FCT commenced a 3-day industrial action on Monday following months of unpaid wages. Speaking during the official handover of 8 utility vehicles donated by the World Health Organization to the FCTA, the Mandate Secretary for Health Services and Environment Secretariat, Dolapo Fasawe, addressed the situation. Fasawe noted the critical need for functional health services in the territory and lauded the commitment of medical personnel who continue to offer emergency services despite the strike action. The WHO vehicle donation, which aims to boost mobility and enhance rapid deployment of emergency response teams across the territory, was presented during the ongoing strike, further highlighting the strain on health infrastructure and services in the FCT. The resident doctors had issued a warning on Sunday, signaling their intention to embark on the strike due to delays in salary payments by the FCTA. On security matters, the Nigerian Police Force says it has recorded a significant breakthrough in its fight against transnational organized crime with arrests of 2 internationally wanted fugitives, Felix Omoregie alias Ebosa Johnson Omoregie, a suspected ringleader of the human trafficking syndicate wanted by Belgian authorities, and Okudili Sebastian Ezeje, a key member of Dubai-based armed robbery gang. A statement by the Public Relations Officer of the Nigerian Police Force, Olumuyiwa Dedoye, Felix Omoregie, the alleged mastermind of a large-scale human trafficking operation, had been declared wanted by the Belgian authorities through an Interpol Red Notice issued on 19 December 2023. The police spokesperson said Omoregie was arrested in Benin City, Edo State, following diligent intelligence and enforcement efforts by police operatives, and is scheduled to be arraigned at the Federal High Court in Benin City. He said Omoregie is accused of trafficking young Nigerian women, including minors, to Italy and subsequently dispersing them across Europe for the purpose of sexual exploitation. His victims were said to have been subjected to voodoo-based oaths and psychological coercion, with fabricated debts ranging between 20 to 50,000 pounds used to manipulate and control them. The police spokesperson said that following a conviction in Assemshire in Beijing in 2021 for multiple counts of aggravated human trafficking and criminal organization leadership, Omoregie fled to Nigeria. Adejobi added that in a separate operation, the Interpol National Central Bureau, Abuja, apprehended a 37-year-old Okudili Sebastian Ejeze at a hideout in Nsukka, Enugu State. Ejeze is wanted by authorities in the United Arab Emirates for a series of serious crimes, including armed robbery, cultism, drug trafficking, and other organized criminal activities. The police disclosed that intelligence gathered reveals that Ejeze continues to coordinate criminal operations remotely from Nigeria. Adejobi added that the Inspector General of Police, IGP Kayode Igbetokun, commended all operatives involved in the high-profile arrest for their professionalism, adding that the Nigerian Police Force remains committed to enhancing its global policing partnerships and ensuring that fugitives find no safe haven within our borders. You're still watching the news at 3. Do you love and care about Rstv State and peace? Let's build and take her to greater heights. For this is a task we must accomplish. Ahead on the news at 3, Sudan cuts ties with United Arab Emirates over alleged paramilitary support, and Israeli attacks kill 57 as Gaza blockade accelerates starvation. Details of these and more when we return from the break. Please stay.
It is well with you, my son.
Amen.
Remember the child of who you are. You will meet people who will tell you to take shortcuts. They will tell you everybody is doing it. They will tell you that you don't have 10 heads.
You will tell them that your head is cuckoo as big as 10 heads.
They will tell you that connection is the poor man's language for corruption. Connection, no. Corruption, no. Shall not in your country.
Not in your country.
You will tell them that the poor people are the ones who sent you there. That we are the real connection.
See, like Mama's hand, we connect to your face if you join bad gang.
Not true. We no go comot our eyes sake of say you be our pikin and let other people suffer for nothing. Be a good example.
Take whistle. Learn how to blow your whistle.
Do good. Bring it home. Oh yeah. Stand up. Good to go?
Good to go.
This message is brought to you by the Akinfade Foundation, with support from the MacArthur Foundation and with broadcast support from the Rivers State Television.
This is Rstv World News. We bring you world-class news, accurate, first-hand, entertaining, balanced analysis. Rstv, Channel 22 Port Harcourt.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is the news at 3 on Rstv. Now to the rest of our report. Worried by the rising number of fatalities and human disappearances, the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, has moved to rally partners towards providing a coordinated and compassionate response plan to halt the trend. Director General of the agency, Zubaida Umar, revealed that the rising numbers of fatalities and disappearances in Nigeria is due to floods, explosions, building collapses, epidemics, and other tragic emergencies. Omar, who made this known at the launch of the National Mass Fatality Response Plan in Abuja, said that the absence of an efficient, coordinated, and compassionate response plan has necessitated the launch of the Fatalities Plan. Is also the reason why NEMA is taking the lead in tackling the challenge head-on. The DG explained that the plan, which is developed through evidence-based rigorous consultation with relevant stakeholders, is expected to provide detailed procedures and operational guidelines for emergency responders, making it easy to identify individuals in fatality. On security, an army captain and a private soldier have been killed by Boko Haram terrorists in a midnight attack on Izige community in Goza local government area of Borno State. According to the Emir of Goza, Mohammed Shehu Timta, the attack happened when the terrorists infiltrated the farming community, shooting sporadically before the personnel of Nigerian armed forces with the assistance of local hunters, vigilantes, and members of the Civilian Joint Task Force repelled the terrorists, killing 3 of them while recovering items from the fleeing terrorists. Several motorcycles, bicycles, and operational vehicle and a sophisticated rifle, all belonging to the terrorists, were recovered. Speaking to newsmen this morning, the traditional ruler commended the military, men of the Civilian Joint Task Force, local hunters, vigilantes, and resilient community of Izige for their collaborative efforts in repelling the attack while praying for the repose of the souls of the departed military personnel and their family during this irreparable loss. Abia State government has unveiled plans to improve its internally generated revenue from 40 billion naira to 120 billion naira by the end of 2025. Abia Commissioner for Information Oke Kanu told newsmen in Umuahia that one of the steps is to bring more people into the state's task net. To achieve this, the commissioner said the state will soon commence enumeration of all houses and business outlets with the aim of bringing more residents and businesses into its tax net. He said that the policy will enable residents to access government social services, assist in the design of optimal economic policies, and also help secure the state against criminal activities. He urged the people of Abia to support Governor Alex Oti's administration by paying their taxes and informed residents that a comprehensive data capture of houses and businesses in the state will be integrated with the Abia State Social Identification Number. Away from Nigeria to the foreign scene, Sudan has cut diplomatic ties with the United Arab Emirates after repeatedly accusing the Gulf nation of backing the rival Rapid Support Forces in the country's civil war. The announcement came as the RSF were blamed for attacks on the usually safe city of Port Sudan, which started on Sunday and have continued until Wednesday. Sudan's Defense Minister Yassim Ibrahim had accused the UAE of violating his country's sovereignty through its proxy, the RSF. The UAE had repeatedly denied allegations that it is giving financial, military, and political support to the paramilitary force. As a result of the defense minister's announcement, the Sudanese ambassador will be withdrawn from the UAE and Sudan will shut its diplomatic missions in the Gulf nation. 2 years of conflict has killed thousands, forced millions from their homes, and created the world's worst humanitarian crisis. Israel's attack on Gaza have killed at least 57 people since dawn, targeting civilians in crowded places as its more than 2 months blockade of the besieged and bombarded enclave has caused acute food shortages, accelerating the starvation of the Palestinian population. A reconnaissance drone strike targeted an area near the Thai and Pamra restaurant in Al-Waida Street in Gaza City. 2 missiles were fired at 2 locations at the same time, 100 meters apart, one inside the restaurant and another at the intersection, killing at least 17 people. More relentless Israeli strikes were scattered across Gaza and 13 people killed and several more injured in a strike targeting Al Karama School in the Tufa neighborhood in Gaza City. Also in the north, another 3 people were killed and several were wounded in a strike on a house in Jabalia. Another 8 people, including a father, his children and cousins, were killed in Khan Yunis City in the south, including 5 in a strike on one road. On the entertainment scene, stand-up comedian and actor Ayo Mekun, popularly known as AY, has shared details of his recent invitation by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) regarding allegations of Naira abuse. In an Instagram post, AY revealed he was questioned about the public spraying of local and foreign currencies at a social event, an act classified as a violation of the Central Bank of Nigeria's regulation on currency mutilation. He expressed gratitude to the EFCC for understanding and granting him a pardon after confirming the funds were not linked to criminal or illicit activities, while describing the experience as a valuable lesson, committing to raise awareness about respecting Nigeria's national currency. The comedian noted that spraying money, a common cultural practice at Nigerian celebrations like weddings and parties, is often misunderstood as harmless, but violates Section 21 of the CBN Act 2007 and urged Nigerians to avoid mutilating or mishandling the Naira, while emphasizing that such acts undermine the currency's integrity and carry legal consequences. Still on entertainment, lawyer to social media personality and activist Martins Osei, popularly known as Very Dark Man Deji Adeyanju, has lamented difficulties securing the release of his client from the custody of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC). In a statement by the EFCC, head of media and publicity Dele Oyewale has stated that Very Dark Man had been granted administrative bail but remained in custody pending the fulfillment of his bail conditions. Oyewale disclosed that Osei was invited for questioning over multiple petitions alleging serious financial crimes. Oyewale said VDM was arrested after he consistently failed to honor repeated invitations of the EFCC sent to known addresses and through communication channels. He said the EFCC has a lawful right to hold Osei in custody like any other suspect being investigated by the Commission. He has been offered an administrative bail and will be released after fulfilling all bail conditions. Reacting to the FCC statement, Adeyanju on his social media handle said his legal team had found it difficult to assess the documents detailing the bail conditions for Very Dark Man. Do you love and care about real estate and a peace? Let's build and take us to greater heights, for this is a task we must accomplish. And that's it on the news at 3. Join us for more reports at 7:30 p.m. I am Ubele Jeets Yara. Good afternoon.